Hi guys, welcome to the video. And in the last session we have already achieved this screen where we were able to select the opportunity and select the contacts. And in this particular video we are gonna link this particular contacts to the opportunity we have selected, right? So to do that we are going to create something called known as integration procedure. Okay, so to do that let me close this down. Okay, so we are gonna again build an integration procedure action, right? So into the integration procedure action we are let's create a new integration procedure. Add contact roles, and in the type I'll say sample. Add contacts to opportunity, right? I'll click on save. Okay, and it create a new integration procedure. So I think that's it. And now let's see what are we going to do. So there are two parts, right? We are going to send the selected opportunity and we are going to send the selected contacts, right? So to this integration procedure I should be passing this selected opportunity and selected contacts so that they will be saved. So there is, to pass this there is something called extra payload. For this this is a best practice. You should check this and only extract payload so that you don't send unnecessary data. So on the extra payload in the selected opportunity I'll use morse field and I create the select opportunity. And for the selected contacts, let me see, this is the name of the selected contacts and I should be able to pass it down. So I'll add a new key value pair and selected contacts I'll rename it to selected contacts. So please carefully look at where and when I am using this morse fields syntaxes and where I am not, because this might create problems for you. So that's it, we have done something. Let's try to see if we're able to pass this data to integration procedure or not. For sure it won't work for us, but let's see if we're able to pass this value successfully or not. So I have selected an opportunity. Let's say I have selected two contacts. Okay, so I have also forgot to tell one thing. When I selected this contact under this thing, if you see that the selected node automatically get true, but for the second one it should be false, and for the third one it again should be false, but for the fourth one and fifth one it should be true. So let's see, for the fifth one it is true and for the fourth one it is also true. So now what I will do, I'll click on next. It says error, that's fine, error is fine, but let's see if I am able to select. Okay, so if you see, I'm going to copy this into JSON block and I'll paste it here. So if you see, I am able to pass these two values, right? Now since I know I have these two values, I'll do one thing, I'll edit this as JSON, I'll paste it. Okay, so nothing will happen, that's fine. But here in this particular scenario, okay, we only needs to select get only the selected contacts. So for that we need to filter out these contacts which we haven't selected, right? So to do that there is something called list action, and in the list action we'll filter. So I'll rename it to filter selected contacts, right? And there is something list morse order, and what I'll do, I will add the list, whatever the list I am getting from here from the omniscript, I'll use that. So let's see, I am actually getting the list as selected contacts, right? So let's try that. Let's go to properties, I'll write selected contacts, and make sure you don't use more syntax here. And if you see for each selected context, the selected should be true, right? So there is something called filter list formula. I'll say selected should be true, right? When I say selected should be true, I'll be able to filter out all these contacts. So if I still execute it, I may not be able to view the filtered contacts, but let's debug it. So let's go to filter selected contacts debug. So we can see in the input, let's we are getting the selected contacts and selected opportunity, so that we are getting the value. Let's see the output. Okay, all right. In output, we are also getting three values. If I gonna show you, we have selected three contacts, so we are also getting three values. So this has been success, but there is no response. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So if we are not getting the response for now, we will send this. What I can do is that there is something called sale JSON path, and we'll add it, and let's try to preview it if we are able to see it or not. So now if you see, we are able to see this filtered contacts, right? Now the next thing is that we want to save these contacts as well. So to do that, we want to use dataraptor post action. Dataraptor post action is used for saving the contacts. So what I'll do is that I'll name is that um, create of the contact opportunity contact row. And to know that I am posting it, I'll write dr post. For here, I'll I'll go to the bottom and I'll set create a new role, new dataraptor, and I'll click OK. Now let's try to execute it one more time. It's just no bundle has been specified. That's fine. So let's paste it again. Okay, now the bundle has been specified, but we want to send the data, right? So let me also click this part, send only additional input. So I'll write select, I'll let filter contacts, right? Filter contacts, and the value should be whatever the contacts I'm getting from this list action, right? Okay, it's actually other way around. I'll paste the selected as the source, and no. Okay, so I think I'm confused here. Let me, okay. So, and I, for the values of the filter contact, let me pass this filter selected contacts from this part. Okay, I'll click, and I also need to send the selected opportunity, right? For the selected opportunity part, I can give this name selected opti. Okay, and now let's try to execute it. Okay, so now we'll be able to see whatever the data are getting. We're not getting anything. Are we able to send anything? Okay, so we are able to send all this data. So at least we are able to send the data into the dataraptor. We are not able to save it, right? So what I'll do, I know that this data is going to be into the dataraptor for execution. I'll copy this debug from here, and let's go to the dataraptor create opportunity contact role. So now we are going to create an opportunity contact role. Let me try if there is something called opportunity contact role. I've done this. I'll go to fields. There is something called input JSON. So whatever the data I have copied here, you see, I'll click here. I'll copy this part, and since this is the input that the integration procedure is sending to the dataraptor, I will assume that okay, this is the input. And once I get okay, this is the input. So what I can do is that I'll try to create an mapping. For that, we have something called quickness, right? So for the contact ID, I'll write contact ID, and Let's see what else we did. Selected opportunity should be opportunity ID. Let me see if the opportunity ID is there. Okay, it says opportunity contact role opportunity ID. I'll mark it here. And is there anything else? I think there should be something called role. I'm not sure what should be. I'll give. Let me give the role as the first name of the contact, and I'll now save it. Okay, right. Now when I am going to execute it, let me do one thing. I have something Salesforce inspector here. Okay, I have all the opportunity contact role. I have nothing here. I think something here. I'll first delete all these things. I'll come here and I'll delete. I've deleted here, so if I refresh it, there should be no contact roles. Now let's try to execute it. Okay, it's the dataraptor. Okay, so now let's execute it. And in the response section, we don't need this filter selected contacts. Let's see what we are getting from this dataraptor execution. I'll make it just create opportunity contact role and let's execute it. You see there are 3 roles already been added, right? So let's come here and see if we have the contact roles or not. Alright, so there are the roles as fast names. I mean, you can configure it later onwards, but it has been added. And the contact title, phone, whatever that was previously, it has been added. So I think we are good with this part. Okay, so now I am gonna activate it, and for that part let me run the export and delete the contact roles. It is taking some time. I'll run delete. Okay, all right, we are almost done with everything, and in the last part let's try to create a step. And in this step, this is actually a dummy step. I don't want to do anything. I'll add a text block, and here I'll say opportunity rules. Added to opportunity successfully. Let's stylize it. Let's give a green color. Heading 1. I think we are good with it. Okay, so this is all about our part. So the last thing is that we are gonna activate it, right? So we are going to activate this part. Now to launch it, right? We are gonna launch it. So to launch it, there is something called how to launch. What are gonna is there are multiple options. So let's see. I'm gonna try to launch it in new port. Right? I'll copy. I'll come something here. I'll simply paste it. Okay, so if you see there is C target, there is something target, there is layout, and there is icon. So what I can do is that also to this layout we need the context ID, right? Like something like context ID. Let me see. Context ID. So this context ID, right? So this context ID should be passed from the record. Let me see. So there is something that context ID we are using for the whole time, right? So I am gonna use the same. Let us assume that we are going to I use the context ID for this account. So let's go and we'll create a new tab and we'll paste it. Okay. So let's see if we're able to get it or not. I think there is some error. Let me see. All right. I think I have done something like this. This new port should not be present. Now let me click on enter. See, now for this Acme account, all these contacts and this opportunity has been added. So let me come here, let me refresh. So there has been no contact role. So I'll select the opportunity, right? It says Acme Cloud Sneakers. Let me select random 4 contacts: Jeff, Edward, myself, and John Smith, and I'll click on next. I think there has been no error, so it's complete. Let me go to here, contacts. All right, so Jeff, John, Edward, and myself. So this has been created. I think that's all about this project. We have successfully created this mini project and we are able to do a lot of things. We have done list filters, we have done dataraptor extracts, integration procedures, dataraptor post actions, lookups, edit blocks, and I used edit blocks, add, edit, and delete functionality as well. So I think that's all about this mini project. We have completed it successfully. So let me know in the comment section if you do have any questions or queries, or if you have any future suggestions for any future videos, and I'll be happy to do that as well. Thank you for watching.